Even though I'm a Triumph Speedmaster owner and rider, I am unashamedly a passionate fan of Harley-Davidson and especially the Sportster. For 3 years or so, I've been working on the history of the Sportster videos, and I'm up to episode 8 at the time of writing, taking us to the mid-1980s. I also spent a good deal of time working on a video called The Sportster Identity Crisis, which was published back in 2022. Like most videos, of course, there are numerous comments posted, and I try to keep abreast of them, but this is tricky because YouTube alerts. The feature just doesn't work for me very well, so I may go many weeks before I realise that a post has been published. So, I apologise if you're one of the ones left waiting. I will continue to respond until the volume of comments just becomes too much. I use many sources of information when researching my videos, and I always include the details on the screen when I reference it directly. With the Harley-Davidson Sportster videos, I use 2 books extensively, almost religiously. The first is the incomparable Harley-Davidson Sportster 60 Years. This was published in 2017, and it was written by the late, great Alan Girdler. The second is the indispensable and quite fabulous 2016 publication, which has many contributors and is edited by Darwin Holstrom. This is as opposed to the inferior 2002 publication edited by Patrick Hook. There are many other books about Harley-Davidson, but these 2 are the most comprehensive with the best quality presentation and writing. The complete history comprises contributions from multiple authors, including Alan Girdler for the Sportster section, obviously. In episode 5 of my History of the Sportster video, I again referenced the complete history, specifically mentioning Chapter 6, the Shovelhead Era, one of several chapters written by Greg Field. Mr. Field has written many motorcycle books, especially but not exclusively Harley-related, with his latest being the 2019 edition celebrating Harley-Davidson Knucklehead 80 years. In episode 5 of my video series, I mentioned the Willie G Superglide story, and I quote Greg Field directly. There was Willie G innocently wheeling a Sportster front end down to the styling studio when he turned a corner and bam, he ran smack into another guy wheeling a forkless FLH the other way. He took it all back and started bolting it together. To my enormous surprise, Greg responded here on YouTube, suggesting I may have misquoted him to some degree. The pertinent part of Greg's post reads, "The Willie G Superglide story isn't really what I wrote. That was a wry allusion to the old Reese's Peanut Butter Cups commercials that ran on TV in the 1970s US. I did respond in a post of my own, but the thought that I misrepresented such an esteemed author has plagued me ever since. Greg, sir, I'm mortified that I crossed the line and can only apologise once again publicly. I am so sorry. I didn't mean to transgress here. If my writing got misrepresented, I'd be furious, so I'm grateful that you are so calm about it. That section of my video was explaining how the concept of the FX series of motorcycles emerged from Willie G's design prowess. I've been over the script many times, and your post, Greg. I was at a loss because I've never really heard of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups before, let alone the TV ads. So, in the interest of comprehensive investigation, I shall now purchase some of the aforesaid peanut butter cups. On seeing the packaging, I realise that I am vaguely familiar with the product, though I've never purchased or tasted them before. Indeed, I've never knowingly met anyone who has, and certainly never had a conversation about them. But those who know me well will attest to the fact that I do have a particular fondness for chocolate and for peanut butter, so surely I must be onto a winner here. I can't wait until my brother Mike hears about this. Next, with all diligence, I need to investigate the advertisements that Greg mentioned. I assume that Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are something of an American institution, so it's incumbent on me to get up to speed here. I found several old Reese ads, on YouTube, obviously.
Peanut butter. Milk chocolate.
Do I love peanut butter?
Hey, you got peanut butter on my chocolate.
Hey, you got chocolate in my peanut butter.
Two great tastes that taste great together. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Pure milk chocolate. Old-fashioned peanut butter.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
So now I get it, Greg. The whole BAM thing. Willie G innocently wheeling a Sportster front end into another guy wheeling a forkless FLH. It's more a poetic license. And the BAM, it's the Rye illusion, which went totally over my head, where peanut butter meets chocolate in apparent disaster turns to happy accident situation. So the unexpected, not to say shocking union of XL Sportster to FL Tourer creates a delicious, difficult to resist FX Peanut Butter Cup. It all makes sense now. Sorry again, Greg, for completely missing your point, but thank you for taking the time to comment. With the apology to the esteemed writer Greg Field out of the way, we move on to the grateful thanks. On the 1st of February, I had a total of 209 views totaling 17.6 hours for all my videos, with no subscribers at all that day. This was fairly typical for my channel. Then, for no reason I can understand, 5 days later, I suddenly got 43 new subscribers. 4 days after that, on the 10th, I hit 763 views with just over 100 hours in one day, easily a record for me. But all of this confused me a great deal. Why was I getting such exposure? Was the infamous YouTube algorithm throwing up an anomaly of some kind? That seemed unlikely, but if not, how was this happening? Anna and I have been having a tough time for many months. Anna developed breast cancer at the end of 2008, and although the cancer was forced into remission, the treatments used are so powerfully aggressive, so toxic, they permanently changed Anna's physiology. Since then, Anna's been fighting a constant battle against ill health, resulting in us both having to give up work. I've found that being a carer is a very lonely business, and Anna has found that living with suffering is even more lonely. Last autumn, Anna's calcific tendinitis flared up to agonising proportions, and she began suffering horrific dizziness caused by Meniere's disease, which is also gradually destroying her hearing. Obviously, messing about making motorcycle videos receded into the far background, and with no alerts from YouTube, I'd no idea I was still getting comments. In April, I checked my YouTube account for the first time in a good while. Along with the post from Greg Field, I also found one from a gent with a snappy username, Clayton Von Kluge. He said, "Just wanted to say I'm here watching and subbed because of Bart. Thanks Bart. Just wanted to give a shout out." I responded to Clayton as soon as I read his post, but thank you Clayton again anyway. I'm not sure that Clayton ever saw that post, but I did wonder if that was the same Bart as the hugely successful YouTuber of the same name. I would have to investigate this. Anna's health problems have often resulted in terrible nights for Anna when she is just crying with pain. It means Anna is often exhausted during the day without the benefit of rest at night, which makes doing anything productive or creative quite impossible, even just checking emails, for instance. Before Anna's hearing was so adversely affected, we could watch stuff on TV, and for me, television still represents an avenue of calm and distraction. Since the pandemic, I've found YouTube to be useful here, especially since Google launched the app on Sky. I've got many videos waiting for me on the YouTube Watch Later option, with several of Bart's titles listed there. I was out riding last Friday, a wonderful day on the A30 over Dartmoor in the warm sunshine, and when I got back, I noticed that one of the Watch Later titles was Bart's own Sportster video, The Motorcycle That Saved Harley. So I watched it. At the end he gives me a mention, kindly appreciating and acknowledging my efforts, even including a clip of me riding my Sportster through Taunton. I was just leaving Boots the Chemist after my first COVID jab. So a big thank you, Bart. I did leave a message in his video comments, but if you missed it, Bart, we were so encouraged to see your plug for my channel, so thank you again. This was especially true after the terrible time we've had in the last 6 or 8 months, not to mention 5 years of hard work. So, all that to say, sorry to the reputed author Greg Field, and thank you to the very successful YouTuber Bart. Cheerio, boys and girls. Without much time. Hope I don't hate them. If you imagine salted peanuts and then a bit of chocolate, that's exactly what they taste like. Contrary to the advert, it doesn't work at all.